Vasistha 8.2 says, Yen idam vyakti tadgyatva krupatyag mukham mana tata prakas rupatvam drakshasi asfutam atmana. By knowing that consciousness by which you know this world, turn your mind inward. Then you will see distinctly the effulgent nature of the self. Acharya Shankara said in Updes Sahasri 13.6, Yatu Syan Manasi Bittis, Chachuska Rup Ranjana, Nityamevat Manodesya, Nitya Disitehisa. The mental modifications produced through the instrumentality of the eye in the form of object of vision is always witnessed by the eternal consciousness. Hence the consciousness remains present while observing all objects of the world. For knowing that consciousness, one will have to turn the mind inward. Katha Upnishad 2.1 says, Parans khani bhyat trinat samambhu, tasmat parang pasatin antaratman, kaschit dhira pratigatmanam, ekshat abrit chakshu amritatvam icchan. The Supreme Self has damaged the individual self in such a way that it sees only outward, not the inner self. Only a rare discriminating man, desiring immortality, sees the indwelling self by reverting the senses inward. Verse 8.3 says, Yen sabdam samrupam gandham janasi raghava tam atmanam param brahma jani hi parameswaram. O Raghav, that by which you become aware of the objects of sound, taste, form, smell and so forth, know that inmost self as the controller of everything, the Supreme Ishwar and the Supreme Brahman. Acharya Upnishad 3.1 says, Yen va pasyati, yen va sunoti, yen va gandhan jigrati, yen va bhasam vyakaroti, yen va swaduso aswaduso bijaniti. It is that by which one sees, hears, smells, odor, utters speech, tastes the sweet or the sour. Here the meaning of this great dictum, Prajnanam Brahma, is narrated. The sentence that expresses the oneness between individual soul and the Brahman is called great dictum. The four principal great dictums, Mahavakyas, awaken the four types of spiritual emotions. They are consciousness is Brahman, Prajnanam Brahma, Acharya Upnishad 3.3, I am Brahman, Aham Brahmasmi, Vedantak Upnishad 1.4.10, Thou art there, Tattvamasi, Chandogya Upnishad 6.8.7, and this self is Brahman, I am Atma Brahma, Mandukya Upnishad 2. The great dictum alone generates the knowledge of truth. Knowledge depends upon the object and the testimony of it, instrument, Brahman. It is not dependent on one's willingness or unwillingness. Even if one does not wish, there will be knowledge of the pot as soon as the eyes and the pot come in contact. Here the eyes are the instruments and pot is the object. In the case of knowledge of Brahman, the instrument is the great dictum and the object is the self-luminous Brahman. Knowledge is attained as soon as one listens to the great dictum, provided such listening is free from all impediments. These impediments are eliminated through spiritual practice. This is the amazing glory of those very words that they become the cause for realization of the Brahman. Acharya Sureshwar said in Vedantak Vartika 14859, Mahatma etat sabdasya yad avidyam nirasyati susupt iv nitraya durbalattvas badhate. A person in deep sleep lacks understanding of any word uttered by others at that time, yet being awakened by others, he wakes up. Similarly, the verbal knowledge destroys weak ignorance, even without having any direct relationship with Brahman. The great dictum like thou art there and so forth generates knowledge using only the implied meaning lakshan, provided that the meaning of each syllable of the great dictum is perfectly ascertained. Destruction of ignorance is indeed the grandeur of great dictums. In 14863 he said, Avidya ghatina sabdat yaham brahmeti dhir bhavet nasyati avidya sartham hatva rogam iv ausdham. I am Brahman. This type of firm undivided mental modification, akhandakar vritti alone, when it becomes freed from doubts and contradictions, is called the knowledge of Brahman. When that undivided mental modification dawns in one, along with destruction of primary ignorance, Mula Vidya, this modification also gets destroyed instantly. It is like the way medicine is self-digested after wearing out disease. Therefore, knowledge is contradictory to such conceptions as myself and others. When that unbroken mental modification also gets dissolved, the aspirant becomes established in his own real self or attains liberation.